Right, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.8 EX GT. This is very much top of the range, this car, so it gets the full black leather, panoramic glass roof, keyless start, keyless entry, a few little electrical adjustments on the driver's seats as well. A very nice car. 66,000 miles recorded currently on the vehicle, and a really lovely looking vehicle. All the lights and lenses there completely intact and in good condition. Front bumper's very nice, only a couple of tiny little stone chips worth mentioning. Likewise, bonnet of the car very clean indeed, just a few very light stone chips which you'd expect to see given the age and the mileage of the vehicle. I'll just try and do this without my shadow getting in the way. Down the near side of the vehicle, really nice and clean in the panel work. There's a couple of just tiny little marks which have been previously touched in, but it's all very nice indeed. Really good colour for the car, this as well. So it sits very nicely with it. Just come back around this way. Just see just how sort of clean and crisp it is in the panel work there. In the back of the car benefits from parking sensors all around, on top of which obviously you've got the parking camera. So realistically you've got absolutely no excuses to give it a whack. So there we go. And then down this side again, really nice. There was a couple of really tiny little pin dents. I mean, I'm talking very small indeed. There was one, you just make it out just there. I mean, these could get pulled out in seconds in all honesty if you really wanted to. But they are very minor. I like to show the car kind of warts and all if I possibly can. It's not always that easy to see it when I'm looking through the camera lens. So there was one just there. But I'm talking really small. I've been very kind of picky, if you like. But overall, looking at a car which is now 5 or 6 years old, 60,000 miles, but in very nice original condition. Let's go into the boot area now. Absolutely huge boots on these Civics. As you can probably see there, we've got a full set of mats for the vehicle as well. What's nice is this one's got the rubber boot cover here, or plastic boot cover. Obviously just helps protect the mats. So the carpet's underneath, keeps them all in really nice order. It's always a good sign of ownership. But you've got 60/40 fold on the rear seats, and parcel shelf there is intact as well. Coming into the back, rear offside door card all in very nice condition. Leatherwork's all very good indeed. Huge amounts of rear leg room in the back of these Civics. There really is. They're absolutely massive in the back, but all in very nice order. Coming to the front, driver's door card again, all very nice indeed. So I apologise for my shadow. It's trying to do this in the shade just to get the sunlight out of it, but this seat there, all very nice indeed. You can see here on the EX GT, it's got these little electrical adjusters for the bolsters and this sort of the wing pads of the seats. And then passenger one again in equally nice condition. Then if you sort of look up above, we've got this lovely one-piece panoramic roof, absolutely huge. Flick of a switch, you've got this electric blind sort of claps shut, so it blocks it out. But on nice days like today, it's nice to have a lot of natural light inside the car. So sat inside the car now, engine's running as has been all the way through the video. Dashboard's in very nice condition. Fabulous dashboards, they really are. And you can see there, sat nav all working exactly as it should. If I pop the car into reverse, and you get this lovely parking camera with its sort of grid there as well. Makes sort of parking an absolute doddle. But dual zone climate control, heated seat buttons, all in very nice condition. And come across the main part of the dashboard, which is my favourite part, this sort of two-tier dashboard. So you set your driving position just like that. So you've got the rim of the steering wheel in between the two, and you get a clear view then through to the speedo and all the gauges down there. As you can see then, engine's running, there's absolutely no warning lights on the car at all. Auto lights, auto wipers on the vehicle, sort of audio top left on the left hand side, and then cruise control on the right hand side there, but all in very nice condition. I'll just go through up onto there so you can hopefully see. So Daisy, try not to catch the lead. Got 66,546 miles currently showing on the vehicle, but in very nice condition inside here. What should follow now will be a road test of this very car. Right then, this is a quick road test video for a Honda Civic 1.8 EX GT, and this particular car is registered GY62KWM, and mileage at the start of the road test is 66,547 miles. The reason we do the road test is very simple. I say it in all of them. You know, the internet's really good for looking for kind of rare models, you know, much like this one, but it can be hugely frustrating if you set off, you know, for hours and hours drive to go and see a car, and there's a fundamental fault with the car which you should have been told about prior to going to see it. And we've been on the receiving end ourselves, and that's pretty much why we do it. It's you know, it's up to the seller rather to be honest about things, and that's clearly not always the case. So on the road tests, I'll go through the main functions of the vehicle, and if there's any issues rather with the car, I will let you know about them, as I always do. So starting with the engine of the car, it's a fantastic Honda engine. There always are these things. It's a very sweet revving 1.8, plenty guts, starts absolutely instantly. There's no warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car for that matter. Temperature is running at a third on the temperature gauge, which is exactly where it wants to be on a Honda car, petrol or diesel. And this car's been running for some time now. It's at maximum operating temperature, and that's the ideal temperature readout for the engine. Engine is sweet in operation, very, very nice. It pulls, as normally aspirated engines, which is kind of what I love in all honesty. With vigour, the engine revs around really nicely. It's got a lovely kind of hard-edged soundtrack to it, which is just classic Honda. But it pulls really sweetly, really nicely. There's no noises that shouldn't be there. It's a very nice example, and it's only low mileage, so these can do massive mileages, take them in their stride. Engine then feeds through clutch and into gearbox. Clutch on the car is silent in operation, very smooth. Bite point is exactly where it wants to be, and it bites beautifully as well. Clutch then goes through to Honda 6-speed gearbox, renowned for being incredibly strong and durable, these gearboxes. We've never had an issue with one, but it's this shift quality which is so good. It's got a kind of a meatiness about the throw of the gear lever. You don't need to change gear, I'm just showing you. But it's the quality of the linkage which is so good. Not always a given. The vast majority, if not all, front-wheel drive cars these days will be cable operated from gear lever here through to the internals of the gearbox somewhere under the engine bay there. And unfortunately on some cars that means you can end up with either a vague, or actually worse still in my opinion, kind of these utterly lifeless gear changes. This feels like the gear is going straight into the gearbox. It's got a really nice actuation to it. Honda Synchromesh is absolutely class leading, world beating. It's brilliant. It's got, it really does give you a kind of feel of a gear change, which is exactly what you want, but I can't detect any wear in it at all. It's an absolutely super order. Car tracks bullet straight. There's no vibrations coming back through the steering of the car at all. Obviously doesn't pull left, right or otherwise, and it's very, very precise. Very well suited to the car. Again, pretty much all modern cars will be electric power steering, as this one is, so it takes away quite a lot of the feel actually. It's a shame, but I know the reasons why, but this is certainly one of the better setups. You don't feel it's got electric power steering. It steers with accuracy, and as I said, it's a perfect match for the chassis of the vehicle, which has got a lovely kind of sharpness about it, but it's very, very comfortable. The last generation Civics had the same agility to them, but had a slightly harder edge. They found it hard to ride over kind of these sharp crests, whereas this one handles them so easily. It really, really does. Just checking the cruise control function. That works exactly as it should. So coming back to the chassis, sorry, I should have said, I can't feel any sort of wear coming through the chassis. What I'll tend to be looking out for over kind of bumps is where they might make a kind of secondary noise where it hits the the bump, which is, you know, what you'll always hear on a car, but sometimes you get these little metallic rather noises coming from underneath, and that can just be a little bit wear in some bushes, or sort of drop links is the normal thing. But there's nothing at all in this vehicle. It's exactly as it should be. It's also very quiet indeed. You know, the legal limit there, I'm listening out for kind of any kind of noises or wind intrusion, which suggests that, you know, all the sunroof seals, door seals, windscreen seals are all in very good order, because in a tiniest bit of wind hiss, and it can make what is a very quiet car here, you know, just sort of a bit ruined with a bit of kind of wind noise coming through. But I'm pretty much at the legal limit now, and it's lovely and quiet in here. Brake pedal, solid brake pedal, just give it a shove there. It's really nice. The nose squats straight as soon as you hit it hard, which is nice, so it's not pulling left, pulling right. And again, that suggests things like shock absorbers, and the brake balance are all really good. But also there's no vibrations coming through the brake pedal, which suggests that the brake discs and pads are all in good order indeed. But it's got a very nice reassuring brake pedal, and very well modulated as well. It's not too snappy on the pedal, but it's not lifeless either. Looking around inside the vehicle, you know, I've always said I love the interiors of these Civics. They're beautifully made. They really are very, very well made cars. But it's just such a nice place to sit. Your driving position is absolutely perfect in my opinion. The sweeping dashboard couldn't be anything other than a Civic inside, which I think is a really good thing. It's very positive, very nicely styled, but it's not gimmicky. It's, you know, it's got things which add to the drive of the vehicle. You know, the sat nav's nice and high up, big bold display. Obviously pop it into reverse, you've got your parking camera, air conditioning system, dual zone, so you can do it side to side, working exactly as it should. It's blowing out lovely cold air as and when required. And heated seats on the vehicle, 2 settings, warm bottom and hot bottom, and both work absolutely perfectly. In fact, every switching button I press has worked exactly as it's intended to on the vehicle. Just to show you there, got auto stop on the car, push the clutch back in, starts immediately. You can turn it off, there's a little button between the heated seat buttons if you don't want to operate that, but it just shows that it's working exactly as it should. Then my favourite part of the dashboard, this 2-tier dashboard, high up display for the speedo, which you can change to kilometres per hour very simply indeed, but just for the press of a button. What I love about it is, you know, on one hand, for safety reasons and, you know, pedestrian safety, keep your eye on your speed. Very simply indeed, but without taking your eyes off the road. Quite often the speedos is down here on cars, so people are looking down, taking their eyes off the road, keeping their eyes to protect their driving licence. But unfortunately, it does also mean that, you know, you just momentarily, for a split second, your eyes are off the road. This, I can look at the cars in front, signs on the road, and at the corner of my eye, I can clearly, really clearly see the speed I'm doing. I think it's a brilliant system, really, really clever indeed. All the gauges in the car working exactly as they should, all the pixelation on the readouts are absolutely perfect. Main 3 pods underneath here, more conventional in their readout, kind of secondary gauges if you like. So you've got a big dominating rev counter in the middle, with a little rev prompter on it as well, so gear change prompter rather, and then to the right, fuel gauge, left, temperature gauge. Auto lights, auto wipers, all working exactly as they should as well, and all the functions on the steering wheel, which looks and feels pretty much like new in my hand. As I said at the start of the video, you know, I am here to criticise. If there's something not right on the vehicle, I have, and I've done so in the past. I can't find anything on this car. It drives absolutely beautifully. They are a wonderful car, and this is a big specification vehicle as well. As I say, this is as high up the tree as you can get on the Civic range, if you take out the Type R. But a lovely example of a really great car. Clearly, if I've missed anything on the video, it's not by intentional design, please believe me. It's, you know, do phone, ask any questions you might need to, and we'll get straight back to you.